Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome back for another weekend edition where I go over the news that has happened during the last week that I wasn't able to capture and or talk about in my normal weekly videos. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. In a recent video carrying the interview of Marcus Tsao, the technical manager for the Tron project, he made several claims involving Tron's competency over Ethereum, Bitcoin, and EOS. He also spoke about the allegations shot at Tron by several parties earlier this year, where the project was revealed or reported to have practiced plagiarism. Responding to this, Tsao made a statement that he said, as far as I know, Tron is the only public chain without any post-launch problems. I don't know why he said there are many vulnerabilities in Tron. In comparison, Ethereum, BTS, and EOS had block generation problems when they were first launched, end quote. Furthermore, he continued to tout the cryptocurrency project by stating that Tron's codes are reliable, precisely because it had not faced any problems on the chain. According to Tsao, Tron never used the Ethereum protocol. More so, he said that in order to attract the Ethereum developers, the Tron team made the Tron virtual machine compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. Additionally, he stated, however, the management and consumption of resources are created by us independently. Moving on, the Tron virtual machine will be made compatible with more virtual machines. Under the umbrella of future developments in Tron, Tsao revealed that the team will continue to develop more advanced features such as anonymous transactions, multi-signature, BFT consensus mechanism, and more. Until then, the techie said that Tron will continue to improve the current features and usability of the public chain. He spoke about the super representatives. He said currently all 27 super representatives have been elected on the Tron network, distributed in Africa, Europe, America, China, and other parts of the world. The 27 super representatives are competent enough to manage the whole network. He then made a huge claim stating that the super representative group is far more decentralized than the nodes on Bitcoin and the 21 super nodes on EOS. The Tron team has been, I want to say, destructively vocal in the last forever. Justin Sun, you guys know how I've spoken about him before. I don't not like him. For those who are unaware, a lot of people in the comment section, I see people talking about, why am I always knocking Justin Sun down? It's not that I'm knocking him down. It's just he is a hype machine. I mean, it's worked so far. He has a lot of attention on the project because of what he's done. But I feel like this is also happening to other projects as well, not even just Tron. I feel like what's happening now is that as the prices of the cryptocurrency markets are continuing to go lower, I feel like everyone is trying to find a way to be able to push their coin to the front of the line, if that makes a lot of sense. We've had companies and organizations, I'll put it this way, every other coin that isn't Bitcoin has at some point or another come forward and said that their coin is more decentralized than Bitcoin. They've shown graphs, they showed claims, they showed this, they showed numbers, they showed which coin has the thing where you can see I think it's Ethereum, where you can see the entire network spread across against something. This is only going to continue. I don't assume that this will. I have a strong inkling. I have a feeling that the only time that all of this talk is going to stop from other coins is when the market is going back up. I think the market has had its toll on just about everyone. That is me, you, and I, all of us together. Not only has the cryptocurrency community become more, I was watching something, they were talking about how tribal, even more tribal, crypto has become over the last couple of months. But also the developers and stuff like that as well. If you've noticed, they've started taking shots at each other. And it's really interesting because before it was like this. In 2017, it was this hyper unified cryptocurrency space where everyone was hanging out, everyone was talking. During events, everyone was shaking hands. But the last 9 events that we've had this year, everyone's sitting on stage, everyone's talking about openly next to the person who they were probably maybe still friends with, about how quicker their coin is, how much more decentralized it is, how much I can do this. Your coin only does 14 transactions per second. Mine has been proven to do 5,000. I wonder what the future of Tron is. I know I've said this before, but I really wish I had some type of a time machine just so I could go into the future. Because I always, the way that I kind of think of it is, especially in real life, especially when it comes to sports, there's always that one team or that one person who just kind of talks a little bit too much about the other project or the other team or whatever the case might be. And then like a year and a half later, you look for their name on the roster and they're just kind of not there. I wonder not even just Tron, there's about 38 other different coins who are talking about that they're better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. I wonder who is actually going to be here in, let's say, 3 years. And if any of these claims will be valid, as in if they'll be able to not only pass Ethereum, but a lot of them are now starting to talk about claiming that they'll be able to pass Bitcoin. It's a big feat. Won't say that no one else would be able to do it, but I would like to see someone else try. I think that would be better than watching a movie. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Hong Kong-based crypto exchange Bitfinex has hit back against claims that it is insolvent and disclosed wallet addresses appearing to show it holds over 1.5 billion in cryptocurrency assets. The company, which shares management with Tether, the venture behind the US dollar-pegged crypto USDT, stated in a blog post last Sunday that it is not insolvent, and a constant stream of Medium articles claiming otherwise is not going to change this, end quote. Bitfinex called out such allegations as a targeted campaign based on nothing but fiction. The firm further revealed cold wallets addresses holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and EOS as claimed proof of the amount of the respective assets it currently holds. It added that the wallet's contents represent a smaller fraction of its total assets, which also include undisclosed fiat holdings. Based on the provided addresses, Bitfinex holds at least 148,000 Bitcoin, 1.7 million Ether, and over 35 million EOS tokens. These cryptocurrencies are worth around $1.5 billion with a B, based on data from CoinDesk's price index and CoinMarketCap. For those who remember, I said sometime in the early summer, I had a strong inkling that something was going to happen relatively soon, and I didn't know if it was going to happen by the end of 2018 or if it was going to happen in 2019. I felt like a lot of the cryptocurrency exchanges that we had, a lot of the crypto news websites, even the ones that I'm using, are probably not going to be around in around 2 years. There seems to be, I'm not part of Bitfinex. I don't know anybody from Bitfinex, so I can't even really tell you. It seems like a coordinated effort. You may have noticed there's been negative news about Coinbase, about Bitfinex. I think there was something about Bittrex. There was something about Kraken. Gemini has kind of been unscathed, if you will. There's also something about Poloniex and Circle and Robinhood and Cobinhood. Like all of these exchanges at around the last 2 or 3 weeks have been not under fire, but you've definitely noticed there's like a negative uptick in the amount of news against them, where people are talking about that they're insolvent. We also had something earlier in the week where I think they said 5 of the top 30 cryptocurrency exchanges were faking their volume. We had another one where what was it? So, people the owners of the exchange were doing wash trading, and they were putting in fake buy and sell orders. The way that I saw it, at least in my crystal ball at the beginning of the summer, as I said, I have a feeling that the other major players who are trying to get into the game right now, not going to even list them because it's far too many. It feels like they're trying to. So we had news at the beginning of this year, and even a couple of months ago. I don't know if you remember, they were talking about Binance, Coinbase, and all the other ones. They had released exactly how much they had made in profits over the course of 2017. And it was just an astronomical amount of money. And this is a whole bunch of money that the organizations and corporations and entities who dissed or hated cryptocurrency took notice to very, very quick. And I feel like they're doing all that they can right now in their own miserly ways to figure out how to disrupt and discredit the cryptocurrency exchanges that we have right now, because I'm almost certain by the time the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ and the Swiss Stock Exchange and the German Stock Exchange launch their own cryptocurrency exchanges, there's going to be a shift in attitude, not only for cryptocurrencies, because I'm pretty sure there are going to be tons of articles about how great cryptocurrencies are and how many people should get into them. Wait and pay attention to when those actually start coming out, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be an avalanche of them. But also, as far as we're going to start to get more news, because I'm pretty sure, this is all assumptions from my head, that these that the richer people who are trying to launch these things that have more traditional names have been trying to find dirt and dig up dirt on every single cryptocurrency exchange we have right now in order to discredit them when their major exchanges actually end up launching. Because if you are the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange and you launch your own exchange and you're able to say, yeah, you know, we're a trusted name, we've been in this game for 120 years, and then you show data from the other cryptocurrency exchanges that you can then pay someone on Bloomberg or Forbes or Fortune to actually post that news story and show, you know, there was this, they're accused of this crime, there was a laundering, there was so-and-so, you know, it's this is the way that I at least feel about it. The way that growing up has shown me how greed affects people. I can only assume that this is why Coinbase and Gemini have been trying so hard to stay relevant and get all the proper documentation and stuff like that. It's pretty much, I think they're trying to make sure that when the herd, the institutional investors do come, that they have made a good name for themselves and they made sure that they have kissed the ring, as it were, because a lot of other cryptocurrency exchanges have been saying that they're either moving out of the States or that they just won't deal with people in the US anymore. And that's a pretty big indication that if you are opening something up in the States, that you can just pretty much talk down negatively to them. Once again, this is all my own assumptions, but it kind of makes sense. There's no, the cryptocurrency exchanges that we have now aren't perfect. Nothing is perfect, but the amount of hate that they've been getting over the last couple of months it's fairly obvious that there's some type of a mini smear campaign that's happening against all these cryptocurrency exchanges and other crypto news sites that we have out there. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the UAE, or the United Arab Emirates, has announced plans to introduce new rules that would permit ICOs as a fundraising method for domestic companies. Intended for introduction in 2019, the new rules would allow firms to raise capital via crypto token sales as an alternative to traditional methods such as IPOs, according to a Reuters report published on Monday. The news was revealed by the head of the UAE Securities Watchdog, who said at a seminar, the Board of Emirates Securities and Commodities Authority has approved considering ICOs as securities. As per our plan, we should have regulations on the ground in the first half of 2019. Without reading any further, one, it's good that they're going to allow ICOs. If we have more than 4 countries that end up banning ICOs, I think they would need to reconsider life and maybe go back over the paperwork, because there's nothing wrong with ICOs, especially if they just consider them as securities and the government then has some type of oversight over them. The second part of this, which I find a bit annoying, is the timing of it. We've known that governments have been talking about pushing regulations for the cryptocurrency industry since around August of 2017. I've said before, I don't think that it takes a year and a half, 2 years, any more than maybe 3 to 6 months to actually get proper framework for what you think these coins are. This first half of 2019 only solidifies in my head that I think that we are still not going to get any information from the SEC or the CFTC in the US of A as far as what's happening with cryptocurrencies over there. And I think this is why we've had a lot of other countries talking about, yeah, we're going to give you rules and laws, but we'll do it in the beginning of 2019. We'll do it in the first couple of months of 2019, because this is still, if you've been paying attention, this is the time frame that we got from, what is his name? Not Tom Lee. Was it Novogratz? It was one of the people who said that they think that the Bitcoin ETF won't be allowed until sometime around February 2019, which also plays perfectly into the time frame that we have right here. For some reason, everyone else is waiting. The entire world, I don't know what the big deal is, why the rest of the world is constantly waiting. It's very weird that as countries around the world that want to be autonomous in a certain way, or want to have control of their own finances or control of anything that they have, that everyone constantly waits for the US as opposed to taking the initiative themselves and kind of putting the laws out there first. I'm almost certain anything that they have, you can, if ICOs are going to be considered securities within the UAE, just declare them securities, write it on a piece of paper, have it done by the 1st of November. This is all just my personal frustration when it comes to, I've noticed the last couple of, in like 6-7 months, I've had like a revelation, and I've realized exactly how slow progress is around the world because of cryptocurrencies. the ease at which we are able to send transactions back and forth. Like if you want to send somebody money right now through cryptocurrencies, you can do it, talk to them on the phone. It's there in about 8.5 seconds. But when it comes to laws that are being made, when it comes to other things that are being written, and when it comes to so many things that don't take a lot of time, when it comes to, I think the people running governments, this is how I feel about it, have become so comfortable taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in order to write a certain thing into law or start even thinking about looking into getting into it, that cryptocurrencies has kind of shocked them, and they really don't understand how to contain it. Because I can almost assure you, if crypto transactions still took 3 to 5 days, we wouldn't have regulations on cryptocurrencies until the year like 2023. And you can kind of see exactly what I mean with that as well. There's something in governments, as they have, many of them have existed for a very long time, where they think that they don't have to do anything quickly. Like everything can go at a snail's pace because this is how the rest of society has run for the last 2, 3, 4, 500 years. Everything has been very slow. Everything has to have a slow pace. But using crypto and being in the cryptocurrency space, especially how fast the prices move and how fast we get new news and other things that are happening in the space, has led me to believe that, or rather, I want to see a more not only a more decentralized world, but I'd like to see a world where things didn't take years in order to implement them, especially if you plan on putting rules that are 70 years old on top of something that's new and that's existing right now. Just do it. What's the point of taking your time and talking about that you have to deliberate on something that you already know that you're going to do? But once again, this has to do with my frustration and the entire world right now, seeing how slow things go. And I mean, it's just how I am, I guess. Let's move on. This one's quite interesting. In the past 3 months, the usage metrics of Ethereum has revealed a rather surprising trend, a sharp increase in the number of empty blocks being mined. According to Alex Svanovic, the chief data scientist at CoinFi, this points at SPY mining as the overall block utilization, the number of blocks processed a day, and the average time between each blocks are all stable. The technique being used by the illegitimate miner pool is called SPY mining, which involves miners being rewarded for mining without actually processing any transactions on the block. In such instances, an empty block is formed. Along with this, selfish mining is also gaining popularity within pools and involves miners trying to find the successor of a new block without broadcasting its existence into the network, giving them a head start. For those who are heavily confused right now as to everything that I just said, what it comes down to is people have been figuring out that they typically, when you validate transactions on the Bitcoin and Ethereum and the Litecoin network, you are rewarded with cryptocurrencies as you have mined the blocks. Think of like an actual, like an empty block, like a box. Someone put transactions inside of them. They pass them over to you. You look through the transactions, and when you have validated and said that they're all complete, the box small little hatch opens up. You get a Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin, whatever you kind of want to say. People have figured out that you can hand someone an empty box, look through the box, say it's okay, and the cryptocurrency still falls out. That is a major problem. I'm not going to read through the entire thing because it kind of just continues on. They were figuring out that the people who were actually doing this have been making a substantial amount of money. There was one mining pool that was making around $44,000 per day mining empty blocks. And this, I mean, we know that proof of work isn't perfect. Nothing is perfect, especially in the cryptocurrency space, as everything is relatively new and we're trying to work out all the bugs and stuff like that. But this has been happening on other cryptocurrencies as well. It is a major problem. I don't know if it's going to be fixed anytime soon, especially because of the Ethereum, especially not moving towards proof of stake in the foreseeable next 2-year future. But finding a way to not validate transactions that are trying to go through the network, especially when your maximum capacity of being able to handle transactions is 15 transactions per second, and you're not validating the transactions, but you're still getting paid. Imagine getting paid for $44,000 a day for doing nothing. Like, imagine just sitting down and someone just handing you something after you told them that you did the work that you never actually did. It's kind of a lot. But I mean, we've seen, I want to say, worse things in the cryptocurrency space. I think everybody's looking for a way to kind of get ahead. And I mean, realistically, this is, I was trying to explain this to someone else before. They were saying they didn't understand why illicit activities were happening in the cryptocurrency space. Bless them. They didn't understand that humans are greedy. And I said, if imagine Ethereum right now is, what is it, like $200 or something like that? Imagine if you're able to make $44,000 a day in a cryptocurrency for not actually doing anything. And one day that $200 Ethereum ends up being worth, in the near future, ends up being worth around anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per coin. You made a hefty profit from having done nothing. And I mean, it's just how things are, but this is definitely going to continue for a long time. But I think the numbers have been quite alarming, and this is why it has made the news. But it's just how things are. Okay, so without having to read too deep into this, this entire week has been plagued with an enormous amount of people and cryptocurrency channels and cryptocurrency news and cryptocurrency blogs and cryptocurrency vlogs and cryptocurrency moms and anyone else out there talking about that this week we were going to see a massive increase in the price of Bitcoin. One of the issues that I have with that is, I have many issues with it, is that I told you all before, no one knows where the market is going to go at any time. You can have technical analysis all you want. The problem with the cryptocurrency space right now is that the market is so illiquid. We have no proper liquidity in the market. The crypto market is swings, moves by people moving Bitcoin from one wallet to another. I'm not going to even name names because I can't even fit all of them into my head right now. The amount of people who were talking about that, I mean, like I said, no one knows what's going to happen. For all I know, the moment I'm done with this video, Bitcoin might shoot up by around 25%, what have you. But it's not dangerous. It's one of the main people that I kept on hearing people talking about was someone named Ran Neuner. If I'm not mistaken, he's from CNBC Africa. You can definitely find him. When I've watched his speeches before, or when he goes onto a panel, if you have a chance this weekend or any other day, and you have about 25 minutes to yourself, look at some of these speeches and stuff that he's done. He tends to typically talk about coins that aren't popular, that don't have a high volume. He, in not so many words, he hypes up coins that he thinks that he is able to hype up at that time. That's just personally how I feel about how he has been conducting himself, especially when you have a platform like CNBC and he's traveling around the world and he's showing how fancy things are and he's showing this office and he's showing how great everyone assumed, and I have a strong inkling that a lot of people may have lost a lot of money this weekend, hoping that Bitcoin's price was going to go somewhere else. The last 7 days, as other people kept on telling them that the Phoenix was here and this was going to happen and Bitcoin's price was going to explode. No one knows what's going to happen. Please be vigilant when following someone who tells you that something is going to happen. It's nice and it's cute and it's amazing when someone gives you like a price prediction, 5, 6, 7 years from now. Oh, we can all look at it. We can say how ridiculous that is. Wow, that's a pretty crazy number. But to tell people that something is imminent and that things are about to happen when you have no idea that they are going to happen, that can pose a few problems. But I'm going to move on from this because the discussion can just go on forever. Oh boy. So I'll read it and then I'll give you guys some information. An unceasing critic of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, Nouriel Roubini alleged that cryptocurrencies are the mother of all scams in a recent statement. In a testimony for the hearing of the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Community Affairs on exploring the cryptocurrency and blockchain ecosystem, he also said that blockchain was the most overhyped technology ever. He compared blockchain to a normal spreadsheet and database and said that it was only as effective as them, irrespective of whatever technology it was using. The financial market expert, popularly known as Mr. Doom for his perpetual bearishness, said that we are in a post-apocalypse world following that cryptocurrency bubble burst a year ago. He blames the wrong attention for the maniacal frenzy for buying Bitcoin and said that it was a breeding ground for illegal activities. Keeping in mind, he said this in front of the U.S. Senate. This is why this is very important. He said, "Scammers, swindlers, criminals, charlatans, insider whales, and carnival barkers, all conflicted insiders, tapped into clueless retail investors' fear of missing out and took them for a ride, selling them and dumping on them scammy, crappy assets at the peak that then went into a bust and crash in a matter of months like you have not seen in any history of financial bubbles," end quote. Mr. Doom then goes on a wild goose chase, mentioning the drop in all prices of cryptocurrencies. He quotes a study that had revealed that 81% of ICOs were scams in the first place, 11% of them are dead or failing, while 8% of them are traded in exchanges, and calls the current state a true crypt apocalypse. Without getting into it any further, what happened was, for those who do not know or never heard of Mr. Doom or even Nouriel Roubini, if you've ever heard of the movie called The Big Short, you should go watch it. It's absolutely incredible. He is famous because he figured out or saw beforehand, about 9 months before, that the financial crash of 2008 was going to happen. He told a lot of people. No one believed him, except for a handful of, people who always wind up in the movie. They believed him, ended up making tons of money, and he is now saying the same exact thing is going to happen to the cryptocurrency market. The problem is that he has clout. He has weight behind him because he is well known, and the fact that he was one of the very few people who was able to predict the 2008 crisis, people are now looking to him for information as to exactly what's going to happen in the cryptocurrency space. And if you have someone who predicted the largest crash that we've had since the Great Depression, not even recession, people take notice and start to listen. And the problem is, when you say something like this in front of the American Senate, and they're already terrified of cryptocurrencies as is, this is not good. One, he is comparing, it's kind of weird because he's into finance, but he doesn't understand the full extent of the technology behind cryptocurrencies. So the fact that he's saying that it's pretty much like, what did he say, like a fax machine or something like that? Yeah, where is it? Anyway, whatever. A normal spreadsheet, excuse me. He clearly doesn't understand, and this is why a lot of people were coming to me before. This was 3-4 years ago. People were explaining why I wasn't taking Warren Buffett's advice. Like, why wasn't I heeding what he had to say? When Bitcoin was around like $300 or $400, why was I still into the crypto game when it was all set to implode? People like this, especially when it comes to traditional finance, they have an understanding of finance. Obviously, that's not to say that he has completely lost it, that he didn't lose his powers in 2009, but they aren't understanding the true capacity of what blockchain is and what the cryptocurrency space is going to be. I've said before many times, or rather, I will put it to you this way. We do not need 2,000 coins. I personally believe that we probably only need anywhere from 50 to 100 coins. A large amount of the market is going to crash at some point, whether you want to believe so or not. A lot of the coins that we have now are complete trash, and I am confident that at some point the market is going to collapse, but not in the way that people are expecting. The money from the back is going to flow into the front, and this is going to be one of the only ways that we are going to be able to have a proper cryptocurrency market that is going to flourish. And then hopefully in around 5 to 10 years, we're going to start having cryptocurrencies that will become the Google and the Amazon and the so-and-so. Right now, I think the market is definitely in beginning bubble territory, especially when we have newspapers and sports teams creating their own cryptocurrencies. But to say that the entire thing is a farce, to say that the entire thing is, I don't know. I saw what he was saying. I get what he's saying, but I don't agree 100% with what he had to say. I feel like some people should just sit down at a certain point. It could be that he has the greatest of intentions and he's trying to really save the world. Maybe he's the Bitcoin time traveler and he's trying to save all of us. Probably not. But there were a lot of other people who were making videos about this during this week, and they were not too friendly in their approach to what they had to say about this guy. I mean, we've had a lot of negative news about cryptocurrencies for a very long time. There are a lot of people who don't like crypto, are never going to like crypto. There are always going to be people who have negative things to say. don't really listen to them. I mean, this is important what he said, simply because of who he was speaking in front of. That's not to say that there weren't also like pro crypto people who were also there at the hearing as well. But I mean, there was actually more news about him, and I just didn't include it in this video because I didn't feel like giving him more of a voice. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot more people who don't want to understand the cryptocurrency space. And this is once again why I'd like to see 5 years in the future to see exactly what happens. Because a lot of the people who hated cryptocurrencies in 2013 and 14 are now desperate to try and open their own cryptocurrency exchanges and their own custody platforms. Just how it goes. Next up, the Chinese government should consider launching its own yuan-backed stablecoin despite the current ban on cryptocurrencies. This was said in an open-ed and Chinese financial journal, CN Finance. They reported this on Tuesday. An expert from the People's Bank of China, Li Liansong, and professor of Funan University, wrote an article called Analysis of Digital Stablecoins for CN Finance, a bi-monthly journal affiliated with the People's Bank of China because China controls everything in their country. In the opinion piece, the authors provide a brief review of USD-backed coins such as Tether, the Gemini dollar, and the Paxos standard. The researchers expect them to increase the role of the dollar on a global stage and to suppress other fiats with the yuan among them. The author suggested that China should analyze other companies' experience and double its efforts to create a local stablecoin. However, they said other digital currencies have to stay prohibited in China. What I think, and this is, I wish there was like a psychic test or something like that. Maybe it's just very obvious to me. I don't even know. I said, wouldn't it be, first of all, the amount of stable coins that we've had coming out the last 2 months has been just ridiculous. I think number 23 was announced in my last video, or the video before that. It's just completely out of control how many stable coins that there are. And I said, wouldn't it be weird if the stable coins that we have being launched right now ended up being almost like digital fiat, because they're pegged to the US dollar. They have been blessed or granted approval by US regulators, and they're also maybe not 1000% Tether at the moment, but Gemini and Paxos are the coins that we know for a fact, quote unquote, are being audited, I think on like a daily or weekly basis or something like that. So we know exactly how much money that they have so that nothing can be fraudulent. And I said, wouldn't it be weird if these coins end up becoming like the digital currencies that we're actually using within different countries? And now we have reports from China, from the People's Bank of China, because why not, talking about that they should double down their efforts to create a local stablecoin, which just tells me, why would you need a local stablecoin if you don't plan on allowing other digital currencies in your country to be traded? That just kind of means that stablecoin will then just become the digital bank cryptocurrency that's being launched. I think other countries or banks thought that it would be more difficult to be able to launch a what's it called? Like a central bank digital currency, but stable coins can be launched with relative ease as long as you have the proper algorithms and the proper trades against it. Like on any given day, Tether might go from $1 to like 99.98 cents. So it's like a slight fraction below, but this is also kind of the movement that we see in normal currencies around the world. Like some days they may go down by like a fraction of a fraction or a fraction of a zone. So blah, 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 blah. I'm still going to call it. I'm going to say in a year and a half, 2 years, we're going to have a lot of countries who have come forward to announce that they're going to do this and that they're going to be using stable coins as the actual digital currencies for that country. I know it sounds a bit unorthodox, but it does make sense that they would be doing this because all of the stable coins that we're getting right now, they're all being approved by governments, and it just seems like the logical next step, because I think creating an actual digital currency one is going to be difficult, but just creating a new stable coin that increases in not value, but like supply based on the amount of money that's being put into a vault for that coin, I have a very strong feeling. But I mean, it would be kind of weird if, like, I'm not in the States, but like if you went to go like buy something from Starbucks and they ask you how you're paying, you're like, I'm going to pay in Tether, I'm going to pay in Gemini dollar. Maybe there'll be like a name that'll comprise all of them or something like that. Who knows? This is once again all speculation, but it seems like we're leading to that kind of area. We also had news that South Korea, I think, is trying to launch a stable coin. So is Japan. And who was the other one? I don't even remember. Anyway, let's move on from this. Right. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. See, look. Yeah. See, here we go. Right here. Dubai is moving into the world of digital currencies. The city is planning to launch the so-called M Cash. In order to create it, the state-backed firm M Credit will be working on the project. Dubai has several times shown that it wants to be a leading city in terms of technological innovation. This is why it will have its own digital currency powered by the local company M Credit. The digital currency will be used to pay school fees, in-store purchases, utility bills, and more. So everything. Like what else do you do if you can do in-store purchases? Anyway, as it can be seen, the main intent behind it is to change the way payments are processed. M Credit, the company behind the currency, is working with the Dubai Department of Economic Development because, of course, a spokesperson related to the entity explained that Dubai would be the first city in the world to offer blockchain payment solutions to its residents. On the matter, the spokesperson said, to be the first city to offer blockchain-based payment solutions to our residents is an exciting moment for Dubai. It confirms Dubai's status as an international tech hub. Deploying cutting-edge technology such as blockchain is a key priority and is delivering benefits to our citizens in the form of convenience and securities to customers and merchants across Dubai, end quote. It's kind of happening everywhere. Is that Dubai? Doesn't look like Dubai. I'm off track. This is going to continue happening. At least I think so. I thought we were done with the entire stable coin thing, but apparently this is the new wave of cryptocurrencies that are going to be launched. Kind of exciting, I guess. I think we did have news a couple of months ago. It had to be a year at this point as well, that Dubai was thinking about launching their own cryptocurrency, but I think it was called like DoCash or DoCoin, something like that. Anyway, they were definitely in the news before talking about that they were going to release their own cryptocurrency. I guess they finally got approval for it, and now it's going to happen. Good job to them. A new study by blockchain research firm Chainalysis shows that Bitcoin whales are not responsible for price volatility. The study examined the 32 largest BTC wallets, which reportedly represent 1 million Bitcoin, or around $6.3 billion. Bitcoin whales are individuals or entities that own large amount of the cryptocurrency and are said to exert influence on the market volatility. However, Chainalysis data reveals that BTC whales are a diverse group, and about only 1/3 of them are active traders. While these trading whales certainly have the capability of executing transactions large enough to move the market, they have, on the net, traded against the herd, buying on price declines, end quote. In the course of the research, the firm divided the 32 wallets into 4 groups. The most active category consists of 9 wallets belonging to traders who regularly conduct transactions with BTC on exchanges. This group on Bitcoin owners controls more than 332,000 Bitcoin, worth over $2 billion, but only 1/3 of it actively traded Bitcoin. Most of these traders reportedly entered the market in 2017. The entire report pretty much said that the idea that we've had for quite some time is the reason that we have volatility in the market is because of Bitcoin whales, the people who have an enormous amount of Bitcoin, in that whenever they thought that the market was going to move because someone else told them that the market was going to do so, or their analysis told them that the market was going to move a certain way, they would sell or buy a large portion of it. But the study ended up finding out, so they say that what they believe is, as the market has had very hard drops down and has fallen by 4, 5, 6, 7%, that it's actually the whales who are buying up all the Bitcoin that was just sold off. And they are the reason that we have the stability that we have right now. Don't know if I believe that 100%. I think it'd be foolish to believe that Bitcoin whales wouldn't be exerting if you have 40, 50,000 Bitcoin, I think it would be weird to think that you would not use your Bitcoin to be able to get even 3 extra Bitcoin per day based on trading. I don't know. But as of now, the study says there are a lot of studies trying to figure out exactly why we have like a lack of volatility or something like that. And it comes down to people are saying that the liquidity isn't there. The market just isn't what it used to be. There's not enough attention on Bitcoin for the market to actually move. And now we know, or rather they have said, that the market is stable or not as volatile is because every single time that there could be a moment of volatility, the largest holders have more money in sitting beside them, and they buy extra Bitcoin the moment that they see that the market is going back down, which only makes them richer. But I guess the market being stable is nice for them. There are a lot of talk going around that is actually the Bitcoin futures and something else and other bankers and blah, 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 who are making Bitcoin's price stable because they want to show that the price can be stable in order for it to be accepted. I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people. Last year we had news, I can't remember the rich guy's name, who said that he was going to tame Bitcoin. And a lot of other people have announced that they didn't want to get into cryptocurrency simply because it was too volatile. While traders like the volatility, other people who are trying to use it as an actual store of value don't care for the fact that it's constantly jumping up and down and they're losing 25% per day. So it's believed that there's a whole bunch of people who have come together to make sure that Bitcoin is less volatile, to show that it is actually possible for a new asset class, coin, currency, that is able for it to actually be stabler, more stable than other people actually think that it could ever be, especially at these prices right now. That's just the way that they see it. You know, it could be one of a million other things. Tron is once again in the news. Justin Sun, CEO of decentralized internet startup Tron, has hinted at a forthcoming partnership with an unknown firm valued at tens of billions of dollars. In the tweet posted on Friday, it gave little information stating that finally, first time to partner with tens of billions USD valuation industry giant. Guess the name, end quote. Twitter followers were quick to join the guessing game. One proposed Alibaba. Sun is a graduate of Alibaba founder Jack Ma's Hupon University, as his Twitter profile states, to which another replied, Alibaba is worth more than $500 billion, not tens of billions. Others suggested Baidu, Clover, and more than one said Disney. None of these have been confirmed as of press time. This is the second time that the CEO's tweets have made crypto headlines this month. No, that's a lie. They make headlines every single day. When in the past, like I said, don't get me wrong, I think Tron could be something spectacular if it moves in the right direction. We've had news for those who were here in the summer. And remember when Justin Sun said that there was a major partnership, S at the end of that was going to bring Tron to the forefront, and everyone was going to love Tron, and Tron was going to do this. And we found out that they had, what was it? Oh my gosh. Slipped my mind. The point is, in the past, he has announced that there are partnerships, and the partnerships actually ended up not being partnerships. They were companies who had announced that they were going to allow Tron as a payment on their websites. And when we got the news of this, Tron and many other coins who have tried to mimic the same exact thing as well have had their prices drop. I mean, realistically, to be honest, if this is an actual partnership, if the company isn't just accepting Tron, anyone can accept any cryptocurrency. Anyone can accept Bitcoin. Anyone can accept Litecoin. Anyone can accept Bitcoin Platinum if they wanted. Getting accepted as a payment method isn't a partnership. But if this has been in the wings for quite some time, and Tron's partnership actually ends up being a major partnership with a U.S. company that's actually worth tens of billions of dollars, i.e. they're going to be using the Tron blockchain and also potentially even using the token as something for amazing, wonderful things, then Tron's price would probably explode as a result of that. But this, like I said, has happened before. Justin Sun has tweeted many times in the past that the next partnership is going to bring Tron to the forefront, and then the price ends up going down. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but I mean, if nothing else, this guy knows how to stay in the news. He has, he's captured the hearts of many simply because he's always in their feed. Anyway, let's move on. To finish things up, Vitalik Buterin, first, so that same guy, Nouriel Roubini, went on a tirade many times over where he was screaming at random people on Twitter and telling them how much of a fraud they were. And Vitalik Buterin, as the lovable guy that we all know him as, who is, for those who do not know and haven't been here for other videos, if you scream at Vitalik Buterin, he'll get a blowhorn and he'll scream at you right back. He's not afraid to speak his mind, as it were. Vitalik Buterin has revealed how much Ethereum he's holding. The founder of the Ethereum blockchain responded to allegations by NYU economist and critic of cryptocurrencies Nouriel Roubini, who labeled Buterin and Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin as thieves and scammers. He said, I have never personally, this was what Vitalik said. Vitalik said, I have never personally held more than 0.9% of all Ethereum. This was said by Buterin in a tweet. He said, my net worth was never came close to $1 billion. Also, I'm pretty sure there are no criminal laws against pre-mining. A little bit of a backdrop. Nouriel Roubini said that not only was Ethereum a scam, but he found out that a large portion of Ethereum was actually pre-mined and was given to the Ethereum team and also given to the Ethereum founder, that is Vitalik. And Roubini calculated that at one point when the Ethereum price went over 1,000, that Buterin became an instant billionaire. And he said, how dare you have created something that is a scam that allowed you to become an instant billionaire overnight? I don't think it has it in this exact blah, blah, blah in this exact article. So just a bit of a backdrop so you kind of understand why he said there are no criminal laws against pre-mining. Later, Buterin released a statement which contained detailed information on all his holdings and trades. According to the statement, the 24-year-old developer holds no more than 365,000 Ethereum and three, okay, whatever. Currently worth just under $73 million. During Ethereum's peak in 2017, such an amount would have been worth more than $500 million. But according to the Ethereum co-founder, he had considerably less than 0.9% of all Ethereum at the time. Buterin did confirm he has other addresses, but claimed they are quite small compared to the one he shared. So I assume they maybe have like 15, 25, 30,000, which is, I guess, small. I'm not assuming that a small wallet for the founder of Ethereum is like 300 Ethereum. He also stated that the Ethereum Foundation currently holds around $660,000 and at most owned around $3 million worth of Ethereum. Often named Dr. Doom for predicting blah, 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 not really that important. Accused Buterin of ill actions after the Ethereum founder tweeted a prediction for the financial crisis sometime between now and 2020-21. Buterin's statement seemed to be a jab at financial doomsayers, that's Roubini, who try to predict financial crises. Not because I have any special knowledge or actually even think that, but so that I can have a 25% chance or whatever chance of later becoming publicly acclaimed as a guru who predicted the last financial crisis, end quote. For those who don't know what this even is actually something quite interesting. And I'm not going to call out other cryptocurrency channels. A lot of them are completely gone by now. Thank goodness. The other hype channels. And it kind of goes like this. Let's say you find a way to actually, let's say you create an email, and you send it out to 1,000 different people. And then this email, you tell them, I know exactly what's going to happen to the stock market tomorrow. And you send 50% of them mail that says the price is going to go down. The other 50% you send, the price is going to go up. You continue this over and over and over about 5 or 6 times in a row, always doing half of them saying this is going to happen, this is not going to happen over and over. Eventually, you're going to end up with a small group of people who believe that you're an oracle and will do anything that you say. And this is why he said, 25% chance or whatever of later being acclaimed. This is where it kind of comes from, this idea that you can continuously scam people if you tell them that something is going to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, you say, no. What I meant was this is going to happen, and eventually you're going to be right. This has been happening for many years now, since 2012 with the other financial crisis that we had in 2008. So many people have been coming forward talking about this is, this financial crisis is going to happen. This is going to so-and-so. This is going to, the world's going to explode. This is going to do this. Bitcoin is about to explode. At some point, yes, Bitcoin's price will definitely explode. And the problem is that the people who claim or seem as if they predicted this will then be seen as oracles. The point is, Vitalik Buterin is incredibly rich. We all knew that already. This guy, Roubini, I assume, is the new Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon has all but stopped talking when it comes to cryptocurrencies because he's completely in the game right now. And you can't talk negatively about something that you're in. So I don't foresee a future where Roubini is going to become our friend. But he's definitely going to be in the news unless he says something like really significant. Probably won't talk about him again, but he was like the major thing this week because he spoke in front of the Senate, and therefore it was incredibly interesting that we had to talk about it because blah, 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 blah. I mean, like I said, nothing is perfect. A lot of people are always shocked when they figure out that certain things have happened for cryptocurrency projects. People were shocked when they found out that Ethereum was an ICO. People were shocked when they figured out that the Ethereum team had actually pre-mined the coins for themselves. And I saw people talking about it's a calamity that Vitalik holds this mini Ethereum and many other wallets as well. What do you really expect? If you created your own cryptocurrency, odds are 95% of people, if they wouldn't pre-mine them, they would make sure that they're mining the first 25,000 blocks so that they can get a large portion of the cryptocurrency themselves. Anyway, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope it's absolutely incredible. Hope you are doing something fun this weekend. I think there are a lot of new movies coming out. Maybe, depending on where you are. I know movies come out in... Anyway, the point is, thank you for watching and or listening, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you.